Welcome to episode 45 of the Family Geekery podcast. I'm Danny.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're talking about the comic Demon Days.
Demon Days from Marvel.
Yeah, that's all we care about.
True.
Are we Marvel stans? Am I using that terminology correctly?
When's the DC comic episode?
We did an entire episode on Batman, so just
we
one.
did? How did that slip through?
Go listen to it.
So what is Demon Days?
It's a comic written by and drawn by Peach Momoko, who we've talked about briefly on the podcast in passing. She's kind of a new up-and-coming, super amazing artist. So figured we'd give these comics a try.
Yeah, she's got a very distinct art style, and she's very famous for a lot of variant covers of other comics.
All of which I purchase and then just stare at the pictures and don't read.
Yeah, that's what comics are for.
Exactly.
But we actually read these comics.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about two different issues. And there's a five issue little limited series, but they're all featuring like one character of the X-Men in this particular thing, or a couple characters of the X-Men. So we're starting off with Demon Days, number 1, X-Men. And Amber, you going to be talking about that?
Yeah.
But first,
talk about our weeks.
What did we do this week? Anything?
I've been playing a lot of Overwatch and TFT. That's mostly all I've been doing. I also watched the movie The Age of Adeline last night because I saw it was on Netflix, and it's a romance movie from a couple years ago, almost 10 years ago now, but starring Blake Lively, and it was super cool, and I enjoyed it a lot. That was one that I've been meaning to watch for a while, and finally got around to it.
Nice. What about you, Danny?
I'm on my third rewatch of The Walking Dead.
Which I noticed in your B-reel. I saw Carl.
I think I started this like maybe a week or two ago. I'm on season 5.
Oh my
god. It's my favorite show. And I did have to get through the Andrea episodes. So it's okay. We got through.
Andrea's the worst character?
Andrea and the governor. I might have skipped some episodes, but that's okay. But it's still as good as the first 2 times I watched it.
But
nice.
You didn't really watch it with the Talking Dead, though, did you?
No.
You missed the whole experience.
Little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was good times.
That was good times. Every Sunday night.
Yep.
I'm going to make both of you proud.
Did you read something?
No, I haven't gotten that skill yet. I still look at pictures. I like picture books. No, I started watching Loki.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
It is really good.
I like it.
It's almost like I've told you to watch it a couple of times.
Yeah, I've just had to finally sit down and do it. But I'm probably halfway or probably a little bit more done with that. They're in the void now.
Okay.
He's met all the other Lokis.
Nice.
And I played some Fortnite.
Oh my god.
Really?
Like for about 4 seconds.
Oh
no, I didn't go into a real game. I just launched it.
Oh, to see the frame rate was awful, right?
Yeah, I launched it. I got completely lost in the 17,000 menus. And then I found a way to launch a practice 100 bot practice round. And I got 83rd.
Nice.
But I thought the bots were just going to be standing there, but they weren't.
No,
They were running around and shooting.
Yeah.
So actually, the first time I got 97th. So I landed on the castle. I was like, "Ooh, castle!" So I landed on the castle. I got this awesome gun. Then I jumped off the castle.
Is there fall damage?
Yeah.
There's fall damage. I didn't think there'd be fall damage.
I didn't think so either, but there is.
Yeah, it was like, you got 97th. I was like, awesome. Do I have to
Didn't
watch the
even
rest
die
of
to a
these
bot.
96 people fight, or can I like go back to the lobby? They let me go back to the lobby.
No, you
Yeah.
have to watch 96 robots play against each other.
Like, these guys are good.
AI 47 will win.
Yeah, I haven't got the courage to go into a real game with like 12-year-olds spanking me. So
Oh, come on. All the 12-year-olds have grown up. They're 16 now.
plus, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I just had to test it out to test out some computers. But yeah, that was the extent of my week. So let's get into Demon Days, issue number 1. Take it away, Amber.
Yeah, so this cover is a great piece of art. It's so cool. It's got Psylocke from the X-Men, who in this universe is Psy, and she looks super awesome. But in the background, there's a really cool Venom, who is a like snake spirit in this universe. So I don't know, the cover is super amazing. So I would encourage you guys to take a look at that. But this comic starts off with a little bit of background about like Japanese mythology with humans and yokai are the spirits, including Oni, who are kind of like giants. And it explains how humans and Oni used to live together in harmony, but then humans started like occupying the Oni space by like cutting down trees and inhabiting the mountains they lived in and stuff. So right now Oni are kind of maybe at war with humans, but the whole point of this comic is to show that like you can communicate with them and you should find balance with them and not be at war anymore. So we start in this little village, and we have Suki is kind of one of the main characters, and she's a cool archer girl who may be this universe's Danny Moonstone. Is that her name?
Danny Moonstar.
Yeah, her, who is one of the New Mutants.
The yellow outfit kind of gives her away, plus the bow and arrow.
Yeah. So she's cool, and she wants to. There's an Oni kind of rampaging, just stealing the crops because he's hungry. He doesn't have any food because the humans have like taken all their land. So he's taking their farm, their vegetables, and she's trying to fight him. And so they fight a little bit, and he runs away. And she's like, "What? Why is that happening?" And we cut to the next day, and we see Sai with her wolf, Logan, who obviously is this universe's Wolverine. And she's traveling. She's kind of like a sword by hire. Is that how you say that?
Sword for hire, yeah. Sell sword.
For hire. Yeah. So she's wandering into this village, and she wants a place to like stay. She sees Suki, and Suki's like, "Out of my way, I have an Oni to kill." She's like, "Well, that's kind of what I do. I'll trade you my killing for a sword or for a bed." So Suki's like, "Okay, yeah, come talk to us. Come talk to the village." So she, talks to some of the like village elders, and is just trying to talk about how Oni they don't usually attack. So she's confused why this Oni attacked, and is kind of trying to be like a peacekeeper, I guess. And all of a sudden, these two village people come in and they scream that the monster has returned. And they're like, "Oh, the Oni?" And the people are like, "No, Orochi, the great snake, who's Venom." And so he's the big bad.
And he's already eaten 2 people.
Yeah. So they explain how every now and then the Orochi comes and he eats people, and he wants people to eat.
And he just hangs out in their temple.
Yeah, he lives in the temple and eats the people when he wants to.
Yummy.
So they're like, well, we can deal with this by going to see Juju. And Juju is Jubilee, but like a magician. She's a magician who her goal is to basically sit around and eat their food and, take their money and like be luxurious until they need her to go fight Orochi. So that's what they do. They go to see Juju, and she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll help you. Um, and so they kind of make a plan. Um, so, Jubilee or Juju gives them fireworks to
Makes
go
sense.
fight Venom with. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of classic for her. And she looks super cool in this comic. As soon as they said Juju, I didn't even need to like turn the page before I was like, oh, that's Jubilee. And then I saw the next page. I was like, that's definitely Jubilee.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I was thinking the same thing.
So they get ready to fight, and Sai is going to go figure out what the Oni wants to do, and she tells Logan to stay with Suki, and so Suki and Logan become kind of like a duo in this comic. So Sai finds. Is this the same Oni that was from before?
It is, but it's colored differently, like because the other one was at nighttime.
Yeah. Okay.
So they had, instead of having it red, it was kind of in white, and I thought it was Sabretooth at first.
Oh. No, but this one, first word he says is smash.
Smash.
So it's Hulk.
It also says Hulk Maru Smash.
Yeah. So Hulk is represented as an Oni in this comic, which is really cool. So, but then he's got a baby.
Well, that's Hulkling.
Hulkling?
Yeah.
I don't know Hulkling.
Hulkling's
Okay.
newer.
Okay. He kind of looks like Abomination with like the webbed ears. Doesn't Abomination have webbed ears?
Yeah, but so does Hulkling.
Okay. So Sai and the Oni, Hulkmaru, they talk about how, he's just hungry and he needs to feed his baby, and the people like took their land, so he has no food. So Sai's like, I'll try to change things. We need your help though. You're really big, and we need to fight this venom. So if you come help us, I'll have the villagers promise to honor your boundaries and not intrude on your lands, so that you actually can, survive and not steal from them. So then we cut back to the action. Suki places the fireworks around the temple, and they light them all on fire, and they go pop, 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 which brings the Oni out, or the Venom, the Orochi, out. And now he's going crazy. He's trying to use his goo to, like, he grabs onto Suki, he grabs onto Logan, and then Hulk comes in and Sai comes in, and they defeat him. They save the day. Juju also says like a spell or something, so we don't really know what that. I guess she says, "I abjure thee," but it's got some cool other writing on there, so that's cool. So finally, I guess Hulk takes his tongue wraps it around a pole and tells Sai to cut it off. So she cuts it off. And he explodes. He turns into a goo and kind of just like dissolves. So everyone's happy. They finally defeated Orochi for real. No more problems there. And Sai makes sure that the promise is going to be kept by the villagers. And then Logan loses his eye. He has a scar on one of his eyes. But besides that, he heals back real quick. Wonder why that happens.
And Logan did have an eye patch for a while when he went under the name Patch.
Oh, that was something I didn't know. I was like, I don't remember Wolverine ever having just one eye. So that clears that up, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't heal.
Yeah, right? So Sai and Logan, they leave. They leave the village, and so this all happened at the Kirisaki Mountain, this story, which we find out is a story because we kind of zoom out, fourth wall break kind of. And this character, Mariko, who is going to end up being like the main character of these comics, she's reading about this, and it turns out that she, like in real life, actually lives at that mountain because like there's like a rock or something that is the same. I don't know, the landscape's kind of the same, but we're like in the present day now. But then in the bushes, you see Logan still lurking around. So he survived since these stories were written.
Yeah, very cool. I guess he came back after fighting in the Civil War, with his brother, and came back to Japan.
Yeah.
I think he's got a girlfriend there, so that's probably why he came back.
Gotta watch that movie again, the Wolverine movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so at the end of that one, it teases the next issue. Don't miss the next installment in the Demon Days saga.
It also, at the end, has the yokai files, which is really interesting because it, like, explains the real life, like, mythological creatures that these characters are based on.
Oh, yeah, that was really neat.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool to read. And to see, like, different artworks for the characters also.
And all this artwork, especially, like, the landscapes and stuff, it looks like something right out of, and this is the extent of my cultural diversity, right out of Epcot's Japan pavilion. Remember the pavilion where it has all the like artworks and pop culture stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what all of her artwork reminded me of.
Yeah, it's like all really pretty watercolor, which is really cool. I'm assuming it's all like traditional watercolor and not like digital, but it looks so cool.
You can do anything with digital these days.
That's true.
Make it look just like watercolor. Make it look more watercolor than watercolor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to Demon Days Mariko, which Danny's going to be talking about.
Yep. Demon Days Mariko. So this one starts off with a young Mariko singing a nursery rhyme that is about the Onis and the mountain. And her granny comes over and is like, I told you not to sing that song. And little Mariko is like, but why? It's about the stories that you would tell me. And then she gets like a little like flashback, I'm guessing, or vision of what we find out to be like her memories of her mom. And then it flashes to older Mariko in school, and she has this kid pinned against the wall because he cut her hair and basically holds a knife to him. And everyone around them is like, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? And she's like, I wasn't gonna kill him. And apparently one of them had a video of it, and their friend was telling them to post it, and she was like, yeah, but I don't want to get involved in that, so they didn't post it. Mariko goes home to her maid, and her maid has bright red hair. Is that supposed to be Jean Grey?
No, did you see her hair thing? Her hairpin?
What is it? Oh, is it Black Widow?
Yeah.
She happens to be hanging out in a X-Men comic for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, same with Hulk.
That's true. So her maid, Black Widow maid, asks if another incident happened, and she was like, no, not really. I'm just gonna go lie down. And as she's lying down, she gets another vision of an Oni or her mom. And she wakes up and she's like, oh, that was kind of weird. And so when they're eating dinner, she's acting a little strange, and Granny's like, what's wrong? And she tells Granny that she's been having these dreams about the Oni and about a woman. And she says it seems real. And Granny's like, well, I guess I should tell you now. And then Black Widow maid has bullets or something in her wrist, or some type of weapon. And then Granny brings her to a room and is like, oh, I have these things to tell you, and I'm sorry I told you so late, but these dreams are actually your memories, and I'm not actually your granny. Bum, bum, bum. And she actually tells her that she's a child of an Oni. And the granny just found her.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom died, I think. And so Granny found her and took her for her own.
And Granny's actually a Jushi, which is what Juju was. She's like the wizard kind of person.
And when Granny found her, Mariko had a knife with her. So she gives that knife back to her. And so she gives the knife back to her. And then the maid comes in and
she basically puts the granny to sleep so that she can explain more about Mariko's history to her.
Oh, yeah. And then the maid tells, it flashes back to the maid teaching Mariko how to fight because some kids pushed her, and she said that you need to hit them first before they hit you. And so she actually isn't really a maid. She's actually just there to monitor Mariko and to report when her memories do come back, because this person called the Ojin wants her blood because they want Oni blood. And Mariko's like, why do they want my blood? Like, what do they do with it? And the maid said that she needs it to survive and that she needs to kill her for the blood. Then the maid tells Mariko that even though that she's a spy, she let herself care about Mariko too much, that she doesn't want to give her to the Ojin. But then the Ojin shows up and it's like, you can't betray us, and she wants Mariko.
Oh, that's not Ojin.
Oh, it's not? Oh, is it just one of...
That's one of her other spies.
Yeah, Kuya. Unless that's just an emote.
Kuya.
Yeah, I think it is Kuya.
But Kuya comes in and is like, you can't betray us. We need Mariko. And the maid tries to help her and get Mariko to run away, but Mariko doesn't want to hurt the maid. And does Kuya kill the maid?
I think they just teleported away.
Yeah, they just disappear. And so Mariko sees them disappear and she's like, well, now I have to find out who I am and what's going on. And Granny's like, I never thought she would be a spy, and I didn't know that they wanted you. And maybe that's why you have this dagger. And Mariko is just very frustrated because she finds out all this information and she's wondering where her mom is and why her mom died. And then she pulls out the dagger and she finds some armor from her mother. And Granny just explains that she wanted her to have a normal life, normal childhood. And Mariko talks about how has been filled with so much anger, she didn't know why, and now she knows why. And so then it flashes to the Ojin and their worker telling them that the maid betrayed them and that she doesn't care what happens to her because she's a human, and she expects Mariko to come, but that she will be making the final move. So she gets them ready for Mariko to come. And that's how it ends.
Yeah, she's got like a team in the last frame, and you can't really see any of their faces. But I spent a long time trying to decipher who everyone is. And I got a couple of them, and I've got theories for the others.
Yep.
One of them's pretty easy, it looks like, with the red hair and the blue skin.
Red hair and the blue skin.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mystique.
Who else you got in there?
To the right of Mystique, it looks like a beastly figure, so I was thinking Sabretooth. Because we've already got Logan, and I was thinking that these were like members of the Brotherhood of Evil because of Mystique, which led me to think, and this might be a stretch, I don't know, maybe Ojin is Emma Frost because she's in all white, she's got the white hair. I don't know, but she doesn't really have anything to do with blood, so I don't know.
I think she's Silver Samurai.
Oh, you think she's Silver Samurai?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Mariko is Scarlet Samurai.
Oh.
She's the love interest of Logan in the Wolverine movie.
Oh,
Wolverine
really?
Origins. Yeah. That's Mariko Yashida. So I think that might be Silver Samurai. She's got a samurai sword right next to her. In the comics, of course, she's a male, but this is the Momoko verse. They call this the Momoko verse.
Uh-huh. Okay. And then the other characters... Okay. So I saw a Screen Rant post saying because I was like, oh, who are the characters in the Demon Days universe? And it said that Storm is in it. And so I was thinking maybe Storm's the one kneeling with the white curly hair. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
And like Storm is like what? Like sometimes corrupted.
Right.
So and she has like a black like headband or crown or something sometimes. So that could be that like black bow could be referencing that. I don't know. I was kind of confused on that one. And then the dude to the left of her, I don't know who that is. I thought at first it was Icarus, which made zero sense because that's an Eternal. And then I looked at what Icarus looks like, and he doesn't have that many circles on his armor. So I don't know who that is.
And I could be completely wrong about the whole Hulkling thing. I'm second guessing myself now, but at the time of reading it, that's who kind of popped into my head, but I'm not sure. Because I think Hulkling was like a Kree scroll like combo. So I thought that's why he had like the gargoyle-ish look to him, but who knows? We got 3 more issues to read, so we will be back at some point with a part 2 to this. And maybe by then we'll know a little bit more as the story progresses.
Yeah.
But so far, I really like the take on all the different characters and how they're apparent but not super apparent, and you have to kind of dig deep a little bit to figure them all out. So I think Peach has done an awesome job with creating this world for us to enjoy.
Yeah. I really liked it.
Same. I immediately, after I finished reading these, I was like, Dad, send me the next ones. I want to figure this out. I want to read the rest of them. And I actually have one of them. I have one of the demon... I actually have... No, it is a Demon Days one, but not one that we read today. So I'll have to go read the physical copy of that one.
Yeah, I remember you picking that up at the
I was
comic
just
book
like,
store.
ooh, pretty.
That was about when, and what do they call the rising star artists that she's a part of? They've got like a code name for them.
Yeah, they do.
But that
she did a bunch of variant covers because of that, and
yeah, that was right in the middle of them doing a bunch of variants. Yeah, very cool. It's good story so far, and look forward to finishing it up.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think she's got a bright future at Marvel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But anything else on the topic of Demon Days before we call it an episode?
I just want to suggest to the listeners to check them out. At least just look at the pictures and look at her art, because it's just crazy good. And I wonder if Magic the Gathering will ever recruit her to draw some cards.
You should start a petition.
Maybe. They do like their Japanese style cards, so maybe she'd do some.
She'd do some great landscapes.
Oh yeah.
For the lands. Yeah, so check out these comics. They're all available in Marvel Unlimited. If you can't find them in your local bookstore, you can check them out that way. But I think that's going to wrap up this episode of the Family Geekery Podcast. We thank you guys for listening, as always. And check out our socials. Check out our YouTube channel. Check out Peach Momoko.
Definitely. Yeah. And Peach, if you want to be a guest on this podcast, we would love to have you.
There you go. So thank you as always for listening. And until next time, peace out.
Peace out.
And geek out. Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery Podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.